goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
good enough for rock.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band. Like,
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
but this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Tonight we have the beautiful songwriting and hilarious online content of Kahone Concept. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Gina Masoto.
And you are listening to...
Next Fave Band!
Nice! What a great opening there. Yeah, we nailed it right off the top.
I almost forgot my line. It's been a long time since I've been on stage, Phil.
Well, super honored to have Gina guest co-host this thing. A lot of reasons for that, but I just kind of wanted to start with, it's given me like the something that happens after Music Fest. Obviously meeting all these phenomenal artists, but also the ones that meant so much to me when they say yes to come on the show gives me those kind of like the butterflies in the stomach, like as if it's early in the show. And then to have somebody joining who it's their first episode on, I'm just like, I'm feeling like a kid in a candy store.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that we could all experience this together. I mean, really, it really is an honor. I'm very excited to be here. Very grateful.
Well, I am honored too, because if I got this right, a founding member of Tony and Tina's wedding?
Founding member, no, but
no?
I did it for 7 years.
But a long, long time.
Oh yeah, 7 years on the road. It was really a lot of fun. Pittsburgh was a city that we've returned to a few times, and I really am a fan. I'm really a fan of the city. They got a
Pittsburgh
great thing
awesome.
going on there.
And we're referencing Pittsburgh because that's where Ben Kahone is from.
Yes.
The founder of Kahone Concept, who we're going to be talking to tonight. But let's just start with just basic Music Fest. Obviously, you're a high-end fester. I'm a high-end fester. When we run into each other, it's like magic.
Yes.
And so there are those people who you like, oh, I must have picked a good stage because they're here too. And that's what I always feel about with you. So it's just such a fun thing when you see these other people who are like, just maniacs about it. But tell me about your overall fest. Like, obviously, the weather was insane.
If we could have weather like that every year, I mean, it was a home run. I had family come in and stay with me for the first time. My nephew, who had gone to Lehigh, had returned, which was really great. And he stayed the first weekend and the second weekend.
Awesome.
I did have family obligations the second weekend. So this was the first time I had to miss half the fest. And this is how much I love my family.
Exactly. That is a strong statement right there.
But I'll tell you what I did catch. I know a lot of people probably say this. It really, I think, was it's one of my top 3 favorite fests of all time.
Absolutely.
All time.
Yeah. And when I sent you, so we do that, we call it Music Fest Optimum, where it's like, what were your best fest moments? And
I have to cut you off and tell you what a great show that was. It was very comprehensive. I appreciated everything you said, and dead on.
Oh, cool. And then for someone like yourself, where you do miss a couple days, it shows you, we do it in chronological order. So you're able to kind of like follow along and say, okay, I didn't see these, but let me go see what I missed, and hopefully it kind of fills in some blanks there and allows you to say, okay, I didn't see them play live, but let me go check that band out.
Right. And gives you kind of makes you miss it a little bit, gives you hope for the next year, and
It's
kind
like
of
a
says,
combination FOMO, but you
yeah,
actually also can kind of tap into it and be like, oh, I feel like I'm there.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And lets me know what I have to look forward to next year.
Hopefully, yes. That's the thing that we always hope for is like when these bands do these amazing jobs, you do hope they get brought back because who knows? You never know what the so many variables. Some of it being Music Fest making decisions. Some of it just being what is the schedule of that band? Like maybe they just
Yeah.
are in tour out west and they just can't be out this way. So
Or rain. Sometimes
or
they get
rain.
rained
Yep.
out and you never see them. I
So
know. That's the brutal part
when
of
it
Music
takes away someone,
Fest.
I'm so looking for. Last year we lost Fantastic Cat.
Yes.
And luckily, I got to see them subsequently down in Philly. But man, I was so sad to see them get lost to rain last year.
Yeah, it really is and that's the one thing you really can't control. It's just Mother Nature. You just have to
Correct.
deal with it and roll with
Mhm.
it, you
Yeah.
know?
But then when I did ask you, you said that tonight's guest, Kahone Concept, was your favorite of the festival.
Oh, yeah. Yes, hands down. My boyfriend, my son, we were all together. It
Yep.
was really great. I can't believe how much energy
There's a lot of energy.
they put out for a 5 o'clock in the afternoon show.
Yeah.
Former actor, that is not an easy feat.
No.
What they did on stage, the
Not only that,
energy
they
they
drove
brought.
that day. So you're talking about what, a
Yes.
5-hour drive from Pittsburgh to
Yeah.
here, then drop that energy bomb on the stage, and then
Yes.
also still hang out afterwards. I mean, like they definitely brought it, and
Yes, they did.
again in the future. But yeah, I think so. As soon as I heard that Ben agreed to come on, I was like, Gina, you want to come on the show? This is a really cool opportunity. That
I think that was the fastest I ever texted you back. It was
there is some truth to that too. But
in all caps.
yes, it was a definite yes. But yeah, so I think that I can't wait to kind of dig into this, and I really do think that this could be anybody who's tuning in your next favorite band. If you don't already know Kahone Concept and Ben Kahone, you're gonna love the music for sure, and then you're certainly gonna love just getting to know him. He's such a dynamic person. He's hilarious. He's got great stories. I can't wait to dig into some of this different stuff. But before we bring him on and bring on some music, let me share our sponsor, BetterHelp. Hey, music lovers. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about our sponsor, BetterHelp. More and more mental health topics of depression, anxiety, addiction, and more are coming up in our interviews with artists and musicians who are brave enough to share them and the music that came out of the journey. Those songs may even help us feel a little bit less alone as we work through the same struggles, but at the end of the day, we need more than just a great song. We need therapy, and that's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist who can help you find your path. Instead of being stuck in the endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through questions, concerns with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. As you know, our Listen to the Dissonance shows help to create a safe space for vulnerable conversations, but not everywhere can feel that way. Since BetterHelp is accessed via their app, you can explore your options and conduct your sessions in the comfort of your own home or wherever you feel is best for you. After you download the app, you'll get started by filling out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if that's not feeling right, you can easily switch to a different therapist at any time at no extra cost. They carefully make sure the therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. We at Your Next Favorite Band believe in breaking the stigma around mental health, and going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And with BetterHelp, it's easier than ever to take that first step towards feeling better. Click the link here or go to betterhelp.com/nextfaveband and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/nextfaveband. It's okay to ask for help. Contact BetterHelp today. So I've been sharing a lot off the top here with some of the little tidbits of Ben's kind of like music and online persona, of it being this combination of hilarious and incredible music. This song, I think, really is a beautiful blend of the two, and we'll get into why. But a lot of times, if you capture one or the other, you might just think great music or just hilarity. But this is an awesome song and a really funny video once you understand a little bit more about what's going on. Take a listen to Amicably by Kahone Concept.
And this is how a man creates himself. He builds a wall, and then she knocks it down across the board. This game, it don't seem bad. Then you find out I am nothing but a heart attack. I understand where you're coming from, baby, but I just feel like I've been lying to me lately. It's not your fault, it's just things are in my head, in my head, in my head, in my head. I'm not excited, and this is overkill. Let's not pretend that there is more to this.
Do you have the bio there, Gina?
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any sound on my end.
Sorry, go ahead.
Kahone Concept officially began in 1969, but the foundations of this Pittsburgh-based pop artist / producer were laid long before then. 56-year-old Ben Kahone taught himself how to play a variety of instruments throughout his childhood, but as he struggled to find people to start a band with, he took matters into his own hands using a calculator, Instruments TI-30XIIS, given to him by his high school. He began recording and producing tracks independently, swearing he would never, quote, make music without anybody but Mr. Wonderful, NBC's Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary, unquote. He decided to legally change his name to Ben Kahone, leaving his friends and family behind to pursue his artistic vision. The author must mention, as he has not left anyone behind and continues to have a great relationship with friends and family, but he insists it be included. Kahone's debut album, The Greatest Hits, downs a new era for the pop artist and is now available worldwide. That right there. I'll tell you what, I read the bio during the Music Fest set. And that was the clincher for me. I was in. I was all in.
So welcome to the show, Ben Kahone of Kahone Concept.
Yay!
Thank you very much. That's the first time I ever heard that bio read out loud.
There you go.
And I think I like it even more. But hey, I wanted to thank you guys for joining me for this interview. It's going to be hard to pick, but I know you guys are fighting over. We have to get a new hot dog.
Right.
I appreciate you guys getting on here and setting up this interview to audition.
Nice.
Yeah, the last
so the hot dog is going to make an appearance later, but
don't tempt us with a good time, Ben.
Well, I thought that's what this was. I thought you guys you applied. I got your applications in the mail.
Well,
yes.
that's a separate scheduled interview in person.
Okay, never mind.
We'll have to be in person for that. This is just
that makes sense.
This is just our silly little show. Is what this is.
On the way home from Music Fest, our hot dog, we actually left him at a gas station at a rest stop intentionally.
Right.
Because he just bad behavior all around.
So that's more than a timeout. It's you have to stay at this.
That's an eviction notice.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
We actually, that's the same suit he was wearing. We ripped it off him. And
because he wouldn't take it off. That's part of the problem.
No, he wanted to keep it. And I said no.
No, you can't be a hot dog permanently.
That's Kahone IP right there. We need that.
There you go.
But
such a clever thing to start a show with, by
absolutely,
the way.
yes. But off the top, let's just talk about that bio. Obviously, pretty much nothing is factual.
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. Okay. So many moons ago, I really did want to be in a band, but I grew up in a place called Oil City, which is we had a Walmart and a Sheetz, and that's pretty much it. And there wasn't a whole pool of people to start a band with. No one wanted to start a band, and I played guitar, and I wanted to be I listened to AC/DC and Van Halen. I wanted to be a rock guitarist.
Yep.
But no one wanted to join a band. It even got to a point where I bought an electronic drum set and taught the neighbor kid how to play drums. So he could, yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was just way too hard. It wasn't sustainable.
He's probably like, I don't want to play.
No, he seriously didn't. He did not want to do it. He's like, I came over to play hide and go seek. And
Right, yeah.
Cops and
G.I.
Robbers.
Joe, something like that.
Yeah.
May I ask how old you were at that point?
Oh yeah. I would have been, I think, 3rd grade.
Third grade, you're recruiting your neighbors?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And already able to play instruments and teach others other instruments.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Seriously,
Awesome.
Like, if you think about it, if you go into like investing things online, people talk about like, I wish I knew earlier, younger in life, I could have started investing earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
I actually time traveled, and I told my younger self, I'm like, dude, you got it now or never. 3rd grade. If you don't start now, it's never gonna happen. So I said, okay, man.
Did that already happen in your timeline, or is that a future Ben that
It
went
gets
back?
really confusing because of paradoxes. I'm
Right,
not sure
right.
what's real,
That's
which
why I'm
is
worried.
actually where half that bio came from. We'll never know, I suppose. But there is a lot of truth in that bio. I couldn't find
Gotcha.
anyone, so I started my own band.
There you
And
go.
Actually, I couldn't. So
Another one I came by, this isn't necessarily a bio. I guess you were asked, like, what does your music sound like? And
Yeah.
clearly you believe more is more. This is what you said. If Coldplay and the Script had a baby with Kings of Leon, and then only let that kid listen to 21 Pilots and Catfish and the Bottlemen.
that's pretty accurate.
And actually, it is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But man, is that a mouthful.
Yeah, now since my album I put out, the greatest hits, I would say I would throw in who we got going on? There's a funk band from Columbus, Ohio, called the Hoodoo Soul Band.
Sure.
And they basically inspired that entire album. They're a cover band, but I went and saw them one time, and I went home and wrote Kung Fu Kahone.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, wow, I kind of like this funk stuff.
There's
And then,
definitely a funk and disco aspect to
Yeah.
your music.
Oh, yeah,
But what I
like
love
ABBA,
about it,
Al Green.
yeah, is and my hope is to kind of portray the diversity of your catalog, because it's got a little bit of everything in a beautiful way. And sometimes people try and do that, and it's like, okay, these parts you were in the pocket, and these parts you probably shouldn't have gone there. You're so good at all of it, like whether
thank
it's the funky dancey stuff, whether it's the rock stuff, whether it's even the tender, difficult, emotional, vulnerable stuff. It's all, at 11, and people need to pay attention.
No, thank you very much. I
Yeah.
produce all my own stuff, so that means a lot hearing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's amicably. You're almost saying like you played every instrument. You're just pantomiming it in the video, right? Yeah.
I produced that song, and then that video. So like my approach to like the whole music thing has always been, if I want to be able to talk on everything.
Sure.
Like anything I do that's related to music, I want to be able to talk on it. So like I kind of wanted to put in the work up front and kind of do things harder than it needed to be, just because 1, I like to learn, 2, I
Yeah.
like doing things, but 3, whenever it does come time to collaborate with someone, I'll be able to communicate effectively.
Sure.
And so that video was my attempt at learning how to record video. So like I bought a camera off Facebook.
This will feed into your story. The title of it on YouTube isn't amicably, by Kahone Concept. It's I shot this by myself in my living room. That's the name of the video.
Yeah,
But,
I bought
yeah.
a camera on Facebook Marketplace, and I watched a bunch of tutorials on like what's it called, DaVinci Resolve. It's like a free
Oh, wow.
Oh,
editing
yes.
program. So I just edited. It's not a perfect video, but like it was enough to get like the basics down to kind of learn how to, do the flow. And then ever since then, like collaborating with people or even editing my own stuff, like it's just nice to get a baseline of skills. And like
Sure.
the video is rough. I'm not claiming to be a videographer.
No. It is awesome. Like I played it for
thanks,
other
man.
people during Music Fest, and they were like, they honestly said, "Who shot this?" I'm like, "Funny you should ask."
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I set up a tripod in my living room, and I bought curtains on like Amazon or something, and set them up. And yeah, that's just my dining room. It was actually my dining room. It was like in a house apartment thing, so I had to move all the stuff out. I just set it up on a tripod. And since it was a really old Pittsburgh house, anytime I would dance, the floor would rattle, and then so the camera would shake really bad. So like even with stabilization, that's why in the video there's so much like weird shakiness, because in post, whenever I went to like lens stabilize or whatever,
Right.
it
can only do so much.
Yeah.
But so how many times did you have to lip sync the song over and over and over again?
So when it comes to editing anything, if it's music or videos, I guess, what I like to do, I like to have things to choose from.
Sure.
And thankfully, there's not really much of a storyline to that. So I wanted to keep it simple and attainable. A lot of people, when they set out to do something, they make their goals way too big at first.
Sure.
And so I'd rather have something than nothing.
Yep.
And so having a simple video meant that I could do it. So I knew that if I recorded myself at least like, I don't know, like 4 to 6 times in different outfits, I could have enough decent takes I could splice it up.
Yeah.
So that's what I did was I just recorded like maybe like 6 times in different outfits each part, and then some takes wouldn't work because maybe I coughed or I messed up, so I'll just use a different cut. And that's how I decided what the shots were.
That's awesome.
Less is more, they say. I mean,
Absolutely.
that it's your bio is not less is more, but
No, that's
the
actually-
music video.
Yeah, we peppered in all sorts of stuff for that, but
Oh, that's awesome.
sometimes the truth is long. Okay,
Isn't that yes?
Yeah.
every character.
That's exactly right. Well, let's stay. So you're talking about their 3rd grade. There had to be moments prior to that where you were inspired to become a musician. So where did it happen? Where was there this moment that kind of cracked through and said, the phrase we use on this show is grabbed a hold of your ears and never let go?
So for me, it's just like, I mean, a lot of people say like it's always been there. So
Yeah.
for me, it really has always been there. I remember being even younger, and in church they had a drummer, and I would like sit up front just to watch the drummer and like mimic.
Sure.
I'm terrible at drums, by the way, but like
I
that's when I originally
disagree.
started playing, and so that's my first memory. But then like I did a headline show last year, and for Mommy's Little Rock Star, I did like a video montage of like kind of what the album was like meant to be and like the journey to get to the album.
Sure.
And so I went back and looked at a bunch of like old home videos, and I was shocked. Like I was a baby playing like toy guitars, like
Sure.
not just like where
But
you
like
press
playing it
one
for
button.
real.
Yeah, like they're the kinds that are like electronic, so you press a button and it doesn't play like a full song, but it plays kind of like a chord.
Yeah.
But, like I was like making up crappy little baby songs. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, I did not realize that this has been a thing for a while.
Yeah.
So may I ask, what was the first instrument that you had in your hand that you knew, like, I have to tackle this, I have to figure this out?
I did drums, but when I think about drums, I don't get the same feeling that I remember getting when I picked up the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a couple days before my birthday in in 3rd grade. My dad must have been spring cleaning or something. He had his guitar sitting out in the dining room, and I picked it up. And at first he's like, dude, like, that's not a toy, put it down. And then I was a little bit of a rebel when I was a kid. God bless my parents and everyone who knew me growing up. I just kept going back at it. And then eventually, like, I started picking at stuff, and I started playing Sweet Home Alabama by ear. And just like the but I was playing like way up on the neck and like doing the weirdest like chord progressions. And my dad's like, one, how are you doing that?
Right,
Two,
right,
that's
right.
not the right way to do it. He's like, okay, if you're gonna do it, he's like, I might as well show you the chords. So he showed me like the D chord, like the G and the C, and then from there, like I played Sweet Home Alabama, like, you know, the way you would normally play it, whatever that is.
Sure.
And then I just got obsessed, and I would just play it a bunch. And then I remember
You should cover that song in your set.
That would be fun.
Oh.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's just an homage to that moment where guitar kind of just busted through.
Oh, yeah, and it's funny you say that because the next song that I learned, I remember after Sweet Home Alabama, I really liked Sweet Child of Mine. Something about the word sweet, I suppose. I must. Now that I'm thinking about it, my dad used to be like obsessed with digitizing, uploading the CDs to like Windows, like whatever that
Sure.
music
Yes.
player was.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that Sweet Home Alabama, and Sweet Child of Mine were next.
We're
to
just
each other.
next to each other. Yeah. It was alphabetical.
That was the second song I learned. My dad's like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to do that. Like, you gotta." And basically, looking back on it, I realized what he was doing. He was being a dad, like saying like you can't do it, like encouraging, because he knew I was stubborn.
Sure. Right.
And so I wanted to prove him wrong. And then he tells the story pretty well. He basically says like one day he came home from work and then he heard someone playing the record, and then he walked upstairs and it was like little 9-year-old me playing the riff and stuff.
That's awesome.
But anyways, the reason I mentioned that is because he said pay like some like homage to Sweet Home Alabama. Sweet Child of Mine, and I Like You But Don't Talk at the end. I always play the Sweet Child of Mine lick.
Oh, nice.
And then
Yep,
also there's
I
another
noticed
song
that.
I have in Kung Fu Cajon. It goes. That's very similar to a riff in Sweet Child of Mine. So like,
Oh, nice.
it's just my way of like trying to incorporate.
Sure.
I don't, not that
Going
anyone
back
would
to the
ever
roots.
notice, but yeah.
Well,
Going
now
back to the roots.
this is what the show is about. Like the next time someone tunes in and then goes to see a Kahone show, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's that thing that he talked
Yeah, they're
about."
gonna be like, wow, this guy rips off everyone. No one knows.
I
So,
don't think they're going to say that.
I'm going to jump around a little bit because this now speaks to that point. So another element that I think I wanted you to speak to was similar to that, where someone might have a shitty commentary about a performer, but they're wrong. Is backing tracks. Like, you do a massive amount of DIY engineering to your show and your set. Some of it's the engineering of what's going to happen with the computer. Some of it didn't happen at Music Fest because it was daytime, but you do lights, you do visuals. So depending on the venue and depending on the time of day, you might put in a ton of effort of what the show is, like the production value, in addition to the songwriting and the performance that's about to happen. So I guess I wanted you to maybe touch on some of that work that goes into that, your commitment there, your inspirations there, but then also kind of like that stigma around, oh, if you use that, that means you're hiding behind something.
One, thank you so much, because that's something that I've always known. That's nothing. I don't expect anyone to know that I do that, and I don't expect like a pat on the back or anything. It's just something that I do because I love doing it, and that's what it takes to be able to like do the show that way. But dude, it is so much work.
Yep.
Especially every show I do.
You can tell when you know. You can tell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Every show, I want it to be different, especially since I play in Pittsburgh a lot. That way, every time someone comes to a show, there's something new to see. Because there's only so many times people are going to go out of the house to see the same show.
Yeah.
So I'll write a completely different script, which means I have to reprogram the backing tracks, reprogram lights and all that stuff. And it takes a lot of time.
Sure.
To make it happen. So I appreciate you noticing. So thank you.
Yes.
And as far as like the backing track stigma, I would lie. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't one of those people growing up. Whenever I saw 3 people on stage and they didn't have a bass player, but I heard the bass, I'm like, they're faking it. They're faking it. You know what I mean? I'm like, they don't know. They stink. If I was up there, I would never do that. And then you grow up and then you realize, like, if you're doing music for the right reasons, it's because you love doing it and you're gonna serve the music. And for what I'm doing, like, that's what it calls for. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I don't really have much that I'm trying to prove to people as much as I'm trying to prove to myself that like I can accomplish the vision.
Sure.
And so for me, I don't think like that anymore. I think backing tracks are a sign of professionalism if people do them right, because it does. A lot of people are masters of their instrument, but as soon as they're locked to a click, whenever you're playing in a band without a click or backing tracks and you mess up, as a group, you can kind of play off each other and fix it and blend it.
Yep.
But if you're playing to a click or backing tracks and someone messes up, it's like a train that keeps moving. You have to get yourself back
Just
on board.
get back up, yeah.
Yeah, we can't help you out. And so, like, if you don't get back on board, it's pretty catastrophic. And it happens. We've done it. I mean, that's when you have to come up with something.
Yeah.
We had a gig, actually, the day before Music Fest, we got off the click, and the band stopped playing. But it just so happened that when they stopped playing, it looked like it was planned because we all looked around like, what's going on? It was during Trashy State of Mind in the bridge. There's a breakdown, and we got really lost in the breakdown. We stopped. We looked around for like half a second. There was no music, and then luckily it was like we heard the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we all got in on time, and it looked planned, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Especially there are some obviously comedic sketch type stuff to your show. They would just think that was, they're going to pretend to lose their spot and then pick it back up again.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No,
That's awesome.
We were all during it. We were all like pooping ourselves. But we got so lucky. But it does happen. But yeah, I like backing tracks. I also appreciate bands that don't play with backing tracks.
Sure.
I think that's a skill in itself. But it's just another tool to kind of
Well, I think
help the vision.
It's hard to like define like where is it good and where is it not good. Like I think if you're trying to fill in a bassist that doesn't exist, I don't love that myself.
Yeah.
If it's not there, like either they couldn't be there or like whatever. If there's a reason why that's the only option you had, cool.
Sure.
But like if that's just the sound you're going for, maybe try and avoid write a song that doesn't have it. Or if you're trying to like, we tracked 17 guitars and we only have 2 in the band, so now I have to make it sound that way. Don't make it sound that way. Like don't engineer your recorded music to sound that's something you can't reproduce live. Or the vocals, like if it's like this is my only way to sound as good as that, then I don't love those, and you can pick those up. with you and there were some other people that did it during Music Fest as well. It's like an amplification of the performance. It's not meant to fill in an empty gap or like amplify or bolster someone's lack of talent. It was actually just an element to the production value, and that's where it's great. Like that's where it's
Thank
like
you.
it's like an added element to the the creative genius that's going on. Is it's music, but then it's also this other thing. And like, I mean, at times there was a fucking phone ringing and you were answering the phone. Like, it's just so
great.
fun. Like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And that's something that, I mean, I kind of struggle with myself because I don't want to cross that line into what you describe. And I mean, there has been times for the longest time, it was just me and a drummer. And then we found the right person to do bass. And then we found a percussionist. And then we found the sax guy. So, but like at the core, I don't want people's takeaway to be, they're like, oh, I saw that band, but like they just lip sang and like they didn't play anything. Like I don't want the backing tracks to be the focus. I want the show to be the focus, and the backing tracks are, I'm not trying to hide it.
Sure.
Like it's not like I'm like trying to hide behind it or anything, but you're right. Like it's meant to be there to kind of amplify or get a point across, or
Yeah.
even with the skits and stuff. Like I don't know how else I'm supposed to like get some of those sounds or like choreograph stuff, especially with like only a couple people. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that it came across the way it did for you.
It sure did.
Here's
and
the
actually,
thing too, if I may add something to
That's
that,
what I was
I think
gonna
if
say,
you,
Gina.
I think if you guys weren't so professional and weren't such talented artists, it would come across different. But what you put out shows the kind of showmanship you have, what kind of talent you have. It is just an added bonus. It's like the cherry or the whipped cream on top of an ice cream sundae. Truly.
And that's why, like, at the end, we did, like, the Aussie tribute. We exited the stage at Crazy Train. And for that, we didn't use, like, tracks or anything. And it's not like it's, like, the most impeccable thing. But we try to, like, sprinkle in things here and there just as, like, reminders, one, to ourselves and just to anyone that, like, is looking at that way. It's like, okay, like, they, you know, like, they are interested in, like, actually playing live and like, you know what I mean? So it's, like I said, like, I'm not trying to necessarily prove to anyone, but for anyone that looks at it from, like, the lens of like they're interested in that kind of thing, I want to be able to provide more value to them, you know, and like it's just hopefully comes across as something that makes the show more interesting for them.
Yes.
Totally. And Gina, you were going to ask a little bit about the band.
Top notch. Can we
yeah.
talk about where you found these guys? And I want to let you know your sax player was phenomenal. I think
Thank
horns
you.
bring such a wonderful sounds to what you have. I'd really love to know who these guys are and, you know, how you convinced them.
Yeah, I have this picture here. You can kind of use this as a reference point. Yeah.
Sure. So, first of all, what I will say is I'm so tempted to just make something up right now.
We would expect nothing less.
But I'm not going to do that. I'll give you the honest answer.
Cool.
Thank you.
I found them all on Craigslist. I'm kidding. No. Okay, so
that comes up more than probably not more than you'd believe, but it's a lot of the times. Yeah.
So the bass player here is Dan the Man Hansen. Okay, and I've known Dan for a while now. My brother-in-law, back before he married my sister, like I befriended him like to the point where like when people were. One time we were at a Christmas party with my sister and her boyfriend, which is my brother-in-law at the time, and people were like, "Whoa, did you guys meet Ben? He's pretty cool." And my sister's like, "Yeah, that's my brother." And so Dan was one of those people, and that friend group all like we had jam sessions in our one friend Grant's basement, and so for years during parties and stuff, him and I would just like be part of this band where we played like Kings of Leon covers and like Coldplay covers, but we never like played a Kahone show together. I never really put two and two together until just this past year. He started playing with Caleb's band, the drummer. We'll get to him. And I'm like, Dan, do you want to do a show with us and try it out? And that dude took it so serious. He literally practiced every day, learned the songs. And I'm so proud of this guy, like how far he's come. Just from,
amazing.
Like his skill on the bass as well as his ability to like, we're dressed in 70s and like we wear costumes and crazy stuff. It's not so easy to convince a lot of people to want to do that.
No, it's
like, that's true.
But
they had fun.
Zone. Yeah, and these guys, them saying yes to this and like being into it, like it's a blessing. I'm so happy to have these guys. So that's Dan the Man, and then back there on the drums is Caleb. He's my best friend. We met a long time ago. He does his own music, and he wanted to play a house show.
He's a great drummer. Like
he's so good. Dude, he's an even better songwriter. You should listen. I'll send you his stuff. You should listen to it.
Please do. I would love
Caleb
to.
Copta. He does stuff pretty similar to me. He's a little more like Harry Styles rock and roll. He's so good. Like I'm probably his #1 fan. Like
Love it.
I love his stuff.
Yeah.
So he plays the drums for me, and I play guitar for him live. And then you can't see, he's not here, but we have a percussionist. He couldn't make it to the show. He's actually the drummer for Caleb's band. But like since we're all friends, we like having each other around. We're like, well, Christian, like we can't really have 2 drums, but like why don't you do percussion? He's like, heck yeah, man. And so one thing Christian's really good at that he wasn't able to make it to Music Fest is he adds to the skit so much because like he was a childhood actor. I didn't know this for years, but like he's really good at acting. So like we're able to use him for so much stuff, and it's great. And then the sax guy, many moons ago, I booked a college show, and Jake, the saxophone player, Jake Barber, he was the person that was in charge of like running the bands around and making sure like the bands knew what was going on and where to be. And from that, Caleb actually befriended him more than I did. I didn't really get to know him that well, but one of a mutual band person of ours needed a sax player, and Caleb was like, well, why don't you have Jake? And then so Jake was in that guy's band for a while, and then Jake kind of dabbled back and forth between playing amongst a bunch of different bands. And then just recently, I'm like, Jake, you want to try and do a Kahone show? And like that dude's like, his plan A is music. Like he lives in an apartment complex, and he has a note on his door that has his hours that he's practicing, and it basically says, hey, I'm practicing from now till then. Like, let me know if you have a problem, but this is going to be every day. Like that dude's in it to win it.
Wow.
That's why he's so good.
Love it.
So that's how I met everyone. And then my manager, Adam, was the hot dog guy for that show.
Okay. Great. That was awesome because he is a member of the band. Like he came
Oh,
out.
He was doing percussion.
Oh yeah. What's kind of fun, and it makes me happy to think about, is before I did the Kahone stuff and played in Pittsburgh, when I saw bands in Pittsburgh and the local bands, his band was like the biggest band, local band in Pittsburgh, Nevada Color. And so my first like Pittsburgh show, like they were playing at it. And so like I was like in awe, and like I thought they were like super famous and like all this stuff. And so like one time they asked me to play a show for them, and I opened up, and I remember meeting Adam and like shaking because I was so nervous. And then like all these years later, like we've just become like great pals. And his day job here in Pittsburgh is he works for a promotion company. So like his day job's booking concerts and he's like head of marketing for this company or something like that. And so he basically says like, dude, I've been looking for a local to like manage and like I haven't really found the right person, but he's like, I really believe in what you're doing. He's like, would you be willing to like let me take a crack at it? And I'm like, anyone interested? I'm like, heck yeah, man, thank you so much. And so we've been doing it together for a couple years now. And
is he the one who got you hooked up with Music Fest?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell now because before I was the one like doing all the booking and all the emails, and now like he's what I would call Pittsburgh famous. Like anyone that has anything to do with music in Pittsburgh knows who Adam is.
Sure.
And so now I'm associated with him. So now when people want to book, most people will email him. So I think Music Fest might have reached out to him, or he might have reached out to them, but he just texted me. He's like, hey, whenever we get gigs, he'll send, the details. And he's like, do you want to do it? But this time he's like, do you want to do it? And then he put in parentheses, he's like, you should definitely do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean,
that's awesome.
If he says something like that, then I really respect his opinion. And so we did it. And I'm so glad we did, because Music Fest, like, and I'm not just saying this to be nice, like, it was genuinely awesome. We were all blown away. We didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
Like, it's not a major city. It's not like it's Philadelphia. It's not like it's
No.
New York City.
Right.
It's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know what to expect. And when we showed up, we're like, holy crap. Like,
Yeah.
not
How
only is
long-
there a lot of stuff, there was so many people.
Yep.
Yes.
It was a Sunday night.
Yep.
And there was
Yes.
people from like, there was teenagers all the way to people in their like 70s
Yep.
out at
Yes.
like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, this is crazy. This is awesome.
Yes.
Everybody was dancing.
Yep.
There was people in line to like get a gyro. They were dancing.
Yep.
Like, it was, I've never seen anything like it. When I got home, I told my wife, I'm like, I'm not just saying this, like, even if we weren't playing, like, I would want to drive out there to
You
go see
should.
bands. Like,
Welcome
it's
to
that.
our joy.
That's
Welcome
exactly
to our
right.
joy.
Yeah. Back to the story
Really
before, like, I basically, back in 2015, started going all 10 days. And I've been all 10 days of that festival since 2015.
wow.
But that's only because of, it's just such a special thing. And it's just like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you go down? It's always my
Yes.
question. It's like, it's amazing kind of vibe. This food, this beer, like it's just, I take the week off of work now. Like it's just it's a vacation that I take.
I do think it is the spirit of music too. There is, I mean, I have to thank my dad for my love of music. To catch so many great acts, different acts, things you would never think of to see, things you would absolutely see again. It's so nice to feel that everybody around is doing the same thing. Even if you are there for the food, you still hear it. Music just drives the world. And I think not everybody's aware of it, but we all feel it.
Sure.
And this could be a touchy subject for some people, so I apologize if this offends anyone, but I think it's the truth. There's a lot of people that do Music Fest like Music Fest, but they don't vet bands beforehand, and so I think music should be accessible to everyone.
Yes.
However, for some of these events, if you're a band that only gets together once a year or hasn't put out music in like 10 years and you don't play out, I don't think you're going to put on the caliber show as bands that do this like a lot.
Sure.
And
No, you're right.
Are willing, and there's only a certain amount of spots that can be filled up.
Yep.
So I would think that the bands that show up and are actively doing it should be the ones that you see. And so with a lot of smaller town festivals, they'll book bands, but like there's not really much of a vetting criteria.
Yeah, right.
And so I think what really makes Music Fest pop out was the caliber of bands they get.
Yep.
Is what makes it exciting. Because I mean, I can sit here all day and talk about how much I love music and how much the power of music, like the power behind music and how much it means. I truly believe that. But I do also think that not a lot of people are going to be willing to go out to something if they aren't truly like blown away or like entertained. Like if it was a festival full of a lot of bad bands, I don't think it would be as big as it is.
No, absolutely.
So like kudos to whoever vets bands and just how they put that together. And they invested money in hiring companies to provide sound.
The sound is great.
Yes.
Every stage was a professional like production, which is great. Great sound system, great lighting. Like there wasn't any dodgy stages that were like half falling apart that had speakers from some guy's basement that got like flooded.
And
nothing like that. Nothing.
There's 15 stages. So over the 10 days, there's this past year 441 bands played over 10 days.
Yeah,
and like you said, it's all curated. Like it's all they all got chosen.
Yeah, and that's what the band and I were talking about the most. And what I think a lot of, and the reason I'm saying this is because if anyone that's like in that realm is watching this, just some feedback. Like if you're putting on an event like that, I think Music Fest is a great one to study because they do those little things that you wouldn't think about so well. And I think that's what causes it to be an event that like I'm around music all the time.
Yep.
I see shows all the time, and I want to drive 5 hours to go to that because it's
right.
special.
That's exactly right. I want to take a week off of work. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really nice to hear that someone else feels like that.
Yes, and it is.
An
I
outsider.
agree with you. Like not only just an outsider, but a musician. Like I do. Like you walking around. I ran into you after your set later on that night. I find that happening a lot, where you just simply see, oh, that person was playing at 5, and here they are at the 9:00 show, just enjoying the music.
Yeah,
that speaks to how powerful it is. Because if a musician wants to stick around and watch other musicians, that means it's doing something right.
Yeah, heck yeah. And like I said, I'm not just saying this to be polite because we're on a podcast where, like, you know what we met through. Like, I'm being genuine. Like, we talked about it the whole ride home and how blown away we were and just, like, how much fun we had. Like, it's a well put together. And they took care of the artists. Like, they had a schedule. They stuck to the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
They you know, I don't know if they do it for everyone. I hope they do. But, like, they gave, like, food vouchers and stuff. And,
they do, yeah.
And that goes a long way, especially when you're traveling. Like, a lot of bands spend like a lot of money just to get there, and so to be able to like not have to worry about food for that day, it goes a long way.
Totally, absolutely. Let's take a listen. So I have some of the clips here from your Music Fest set. So in case there's anybody tuning in that hasn't seen Music Fest or what it's all about and wondering why we're just going on and on about it, this is one of the most beautiful stages that's there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And this is the hot dog's going to make an appearance here. This was the part where he comes out and sings "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and then you go right into "Trashy State of Mind." So enjoy this from Kahone Concept.
I don't care if I ever get back for it.
can't take my eyes off the hot dog percussionist. And this stems from, well, first of all, talk about the song, talk about this moment here, and then we'll get into the hot dogs a little bit more.
And talk about this energy.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
exploded onto the stage.
Thank you. So, for a Trashy State of Mind, this song I wrote when I was in New York. So the name came from, like, you've heard the song like New York State of Mind or the expression New York State of Mind.
Yeah.
I was doing a so far thing, so I played in Philly the night before, and then I drove to New York. No, I played in Boston the night before, and I drove from Boston to New York, and I booked a hotel, but the hotel I booked, like, my wife was with me, and she was so mad because it was like 3 a.m. We're pulling into this hotel. It was a Red Roof Inn, somewhere in Connecticut or something. And in order to get in the front door, you had to step over this, like, passed out drunk person.
Awesome.
And then she's already mad because, like, you can tell we're in a sketchy area. And we walk in, and then there's this man and his, like, whoever she was, his, like, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her.
Allegedly, right.
Yeah, allegedly. Like, the girlfriend, like, I don't know how they met or what kind of business they were conducting, but who knows? Okay.
May or may not have been a transaction.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is that kind of place where you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, we'll just get to the hotel room. Okay, we'll be in our own little safe world there. So I walk up to the desk, and the desk is behind a bulletproof glass window, and I'm like, this is never a good sign. So we check in, and my wife was so mad. We get up to the room, and, like, when we're in the elevator, she's ripping into me. And I'm like, we're just going to get into the hotel room. It's going to be fine. Like, we're staying here for, like, a couple hours, and we're going to New York. And so we get to the room. I'm like, Brittany, don't put anything down. I'm like, we're leaving. She's like, why? I'm like, look at this. I lifted up the comforter. There was blood all over the bed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there was, like, nothing was clean. It was... and trust me, like, I would have overlooked a lot of things because I didn't want to be wrong. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, see, it's fine. Like, it's just a booger on the wall. It's no big deal. I'm like, okay, don't say anything down. Like, we got to go. So I walked down to the front window, and I swear, this is the only thing I said to the guy. I'm like, yeah, man, it's not gonna work out. And this is what he said. He's like, I understand.
That was the training he received.
Yeah, and so we left, and then we went to find another hotel, and we couldn't find anything. So we ended up sleeping in the back of her RAV4 at a turnpike station, whatever they're called, rest stop. And so she was mad. So
the
she's
RAV
like,
Roof Inn.
Yeah, the RAV Roof. That's pretty good. So she's like, I don't care. She's like, we're buying a nice hotel in Manhattan for the night. And I'm like, okay. Valid. So she booked a bougie hotel room. I mean, it wasn't that bougie, but it's bougie to us.
Sure.
And so she was taking a shower, and I had my acoustic guitar, and I was sitting on the bed, and it's just this, like, tiny little hotel room in Manhattan. And I was just kind of thinking about how, like, this room felt like the Taj Mahal to us. And, like, where I'm from, like, I just thought about vacations and just, like, I'm like, wow, like, I am not supposed to, like, be here. And the venue I played that night was a private social club that, like, apparently, like, Taylor Swift has parties at and stuff. Like,
wow.
It was, like,
Wow.
super high end. So, yeah, I just remember thinking, like, I'm out of place. Like, I took my Google, like, my phone, like, the Google app where you can take a picture of something and it tells you, like, how much things are. I was, like, taking pictures of the decorations. Like, I'm like, Brittany, this picture's $1,000. And then so when I got back to the room that night, like, I already kind of had a little
She's
idea
like,
what I wanted
I'm
to write
going to
about.
bed.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, stop it. She's like, act like you've been here. You're standing out. And so I'm like, you know, that's funny. I'm like, I kind of want to write a song about just, like, that kind of vibe, because, like, growing up, like, that's kind of what vacations were to me, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't eat out every time. Like, we'd pack lunches, you know what I mean, and, like, buy food for the fridge and cook in the hotel room, and, like, maybe, like, you go out, like, once for the week or whatever.
We used to do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like, to me, I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, everyone does that. And then in today's day and age where you have TikTok and you see all different kinds of walks of life, you realize there's some people that are so out of touch.
Oh, totally.
I'm like, you know what? I love Toby Keith, and one thing he does is his storytelling and songwriting is so good, and he paints his lifestyle in, like, such a raw way that's, like, clever.
Sure.
I'm like, I kind of want to try and do that. So that's my attempt at, like, painting, you know, how I grew up and trying to be clever about it.
Did you actually walk through the lobby with no shirt on?
I mean, I have, like, whenever you're going to the hotel pool, you know what I mean? And you're like, I don't know if I've done it as an adult, but, like, definitely.
I wanted it to happen at that. You're like, I got to make this lyric true. I got to go downstairs.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like whenever you get out of the pool and you're like sopping wet and you're like, well, my shirt's upstairs. I'll just walk
Right,
around.
yeah. Well, this is actually a perfect transition. Let me. Part of this too is again the comedy of obviously what we were just talking about there, that particular song. But again, it blends musical genius with comedy, in such a way that it's like it's such a great song and then yet also hilarious. The Instagram presence.
Can we talk about the Instagram?
Yes,
Oh, let me tell you how it's my joy.
it's
The
an amazing
Alvin-
follow.
The Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for your audition for Sheets. That just got me. I really enjoyed that one.
I almost wore those glasses, and then I thought about it. Like, I better not. I'll put on the normals.
Did I share? I think I shared the audio with it. Hang on, let me stop and make sure I did.
Can I ask you a
Yep,
question
okay,
about
go
a
ahead.
lyric or at least a song title? When you were talking, it says,
Here, I was gonna bring in the Alvin. Hang on.
yeah, go for it.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Chipmunks. This is me. My name is Ben, aka Kahone Jabroni, aka Kahone. I love what you're doing. Okay, I'm a Pittsburgh-based mommy's little rock star, aka Big Cheddar. You know what I mean? And if you guys need an artist to fill a show, we do some crazy stuff. Scroll down through my feed. It's a lot of fun. We're very hot dog oriented, so we could incorporate. I will go as far to we can build our own hot dog blimp, and we'll jump out of it, all of us. Me and the entire Sheets family. We can strap on hot dog shaped parachutes. We can come down. We'll land on the ground, and then we're gonna down a glizzy, maybe two. 2 for $1. We'll rip off our shirts and not tattooed on our chest. It's gonna be a fake tattoo because we can't do real tattoos. So if we want to get another tattoo there, it's gonna say, "What's that?" No, this isn't.
It's so funny.
So clever.
Great. Glasses just fell off when you were trying to talk about landing on the ground. So this is the other part you talked about Toby Keith. This is the other
Oh
one.
yeah.
So and it comes with another funny story. So you did this right before coming to Music Fest. This is a fake Toby Keith song
Yeah.
that you had on Instagram.
I'm not a country singer or songwriter. I don't even have an accent, but I thought it'd be fun to make a country song. So here we go. I like Toby Keith, so you might be able to tell. Well, the sun's coming up on the hill, and I'm halfway through my day. Some call me a working man, I call it earning my way. And Kentucky's not a place. Well, it's funny you say my accent's made up and I'm just acting this way. Well, where's my Oscar award? It must be next to my fake near it that I bought at the store. If this is all made up, it's part of some big charade. I'll live the high life by my pond in Beverly Hills, PA. You get the gist, you know what I mean?
So the best part about it though is you post that, and I said we need to have you play that song in Beverly Hills, PA. You didn't even know it was an actual place.
No, I didn't.
And so I actually I did this little map. So Beverly Hills down here at the bottom, there's Music Fest.
Right there.
It's right there. And then I even said I was like, it's a little east of East Texas, which is another hilarious city name here in this area. Beverly Hills, PA. There you go. It's a real
That's
thing.
wild. If they ever have like a campaign where they have like visit West Virginia or like visit Pennsylvania, visit Beverly Hills, PA, and then
Yeah,
they can play that
exactly.
song.
It may be a town that's like roughly that big, but there is a Beverly Hills Drive, which I thought was always hilarious. You're just going through the suburbs and like rural part of eastern Pennsylvania, and there's a Beverly Hills Drive. It just
I hope
always.
they have a pond,
I think there's got to be one out there.
at least one. I'm sure. If not, we'll have to find
But
another
yeah,
place.
I even was going to bring up. We're just running a little bit short on time, but I was going to bring up you and the drummer went on the local Pittsburgh television station, and that's another incredible post where someone edited together all the crazy stuff you were all saying.
Thank you.
And underneath it just says, "Who let these two guys on TV?" It's great. Anyway, so yeah, give Kahone Concept a follow on Instagram and definitely
It
listen
does
to the
not
music.
disappoint.
Definitely does not disappoint. So I didn't get to the hot dog stuff yet. So you are a huge fan of the Costco hot dog.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of where this all stems from, because I guess for $1.79, you get a hot dog and a soda, and it's a rather large hot dog.
What was it?
They won't.
$1.40.
They wouldn't raise the price.
No.
Have you ever seen the quote of the president or CEO of Costco? Apparently, like the Costco team or the Costco board was like, we got to raise. They brought the idea of raising the price of the hot dog. You look it up. And apparently the CEO said, if you raise the price of the hot dog, I'll effing kill you.
Wow.
Or something like that. Yeah.
That's a CEO I can get behind.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, Costco hot dogs. That's where it started. I was just posting a bunch of my story, and then people started sending me memes of hot dogs. I'm like, wow, this is really becoming who I am. And then
It's on your merch, which I really love, by the way. The
Thank
hot
you.
dog
I
on the
make- I
merch,
make all
so
that
great.
stuff. Thank
Do you
you.
really?
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
will definitely
God.
we'll definitely rep the merch at the end. We always do like the
Yes.
promos. We'll bring that up
Heck yeah.
a little bit later. But this episode is a little bit upside down and slightly all over the place, but I love it because we're always touching on what's super pertinent at the moment. I did miss one thing I wanted to bring up way back in the beginning. So
Sure.
where the whole branding even comes from, which even speaks to this, is from what I understand, high school shop class. You actually build a cajon while everyone else is just kind of like messing around and just not paying attention. You build a
Yeah.
cajon from scratch,
Yeah. So long
which
story
I'll bring it
short-
up here just so people know what a cajon even is.
I was gonna say, can we
Yeah, like the
explain?
drum. It's
Yeah.
spelled CAJON.
with like a
but,
wicked like accent mark too.
Yeah, and I spelled it. I spelled cajon the way I do because at the beginning I thought, well, I probably will get a few stragglers of people searching for the drum because I spell it the way it sounds.
Yeah, you did phonetic and also
Yeah.
people. I'm sure you'd also get your fair share of. And ladies and gentlemen, Kahone Concept.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no one ever knows the name, which I prefer it that way. I think it's fun. Like
Yeah.
if people say Cajones, and like, why would you name your band Kahone or like Cajon or Cajun? I could care less how people pronounce it. I find it entertaining. But yeah, I built a drum and I made a little logo on it, and I just kept drawing the logo everywhere. And everyone's like, "What's the logo?" And I'm just like, "Well, what's the cajon symbol? What's what I put on the cajon?" But I knew I was embarrassed. I didn't like tell anyone about like my music for the longest time.
Sure.
And I was like kind of embarrassed by it, but I knew that the cajon symbol like it represented what I wanted to do with music, and it represented my music. And then so the idea was that like all these people didn't really know what it meant, but it meant something to me. So like the idea that you kind of give things significance is
Sure.
kind of where the name came from. And for the longest time, Kahone Concept was like a really edgy. The branding was like I wore black skinny jeans, black, and like I kind of did that whole shebang. And then as I get older, I realized I'm taking this way too seriously. And then so I stopped taking it seriously in that way, and I just started doing what I love doing. And then that's where like all the goofy stuff came from. And then it's turned into something that I genuinely love doing. I think it's so much fun, and that's where I've seen the most positive feedback is in just like really expressing myself and like taking those leaps and doing all kinds of crazy stuff that like I find entertaining.
Sure.
And
Did
it
I hear
doesn't
when you
always
built
land, but-
when you built that first one, you put your foot through it or something like that?
Yeah. Originally, I drew a Sasquatch on it, and I had used the wood I used was like too thin. So when I hit it, the first time I hit it, I cracked the thing and put a hole in it. So I had to remake it, and I didn't want to have to redraw a Sasquatch. So I had electrical tape, and I taped a triangle, and then I just kind of made it like the cajon. It's like a triangle shape looking symbol thing. I actually haven't used that triangle shape thing in years.
Bring it back.
Yeah, maybe I will. We'll see if we can incorporate it somehow.
Nice.
Maybe
Very
a triangle
cool.
hot dog or something.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
Mind blown.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so kind of getting us to this current release. So last year you released your first full-length album.
Yeah.
It's called The Greatest Hits, which
Oh,
is
may
obviously
I?
hilarious.
May I?
Yeah, bring it up. There we go.
Oh, heck yeah. Thank you for getting a vinyl.
Yes.
I couldn't not after seeing the show. I really,
Absolutely, yeah.
it was so worth it, and the album sounds just as wonderful as you do live. That's not
you.
always the case.
Thank you so much. Yeah, vinyls are so expensive to make. So when I got them printed, my manager's like, we should make vinyls. I'm like, that's a good idea. And then I'm like, oh, this is so scary having so many vinyls. So when people get them, I'm like, thank you so much. I had no idea if anyone was going to buy these, and I was going to have way too many vinyls. I'm like, yeah, I kept one for myself, maybe two.
Right.
But like, I don't need as many as I bought. So when people buy them, I'm like, thank you so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're
And this
hard-
is actually
they break
speaks to that
easy.
point. Yeah, we'll also bring this up again. So whether it's the t-shirts, the vinyl, or whatever, when you buy that straight from the artist, it's such an important way to make sure that the revenue
Yes.
is going to
Oh, yeah.
the artist you want to support. But to the creation of it, you decided to put yourself to the challenge of writing a song a month for 12 months and then releasing this album. Like that was kind of like what you wanted to do, and it became what this is.
Yeah. So long story short, I was kind of just like, I don't know. I'm always conflicted with myself and I have so many thoughts going on all the time. But something I've always felt is like, wow, like I don't have that much music out. I'm however old, and I have maybe 2 or 3 EPs, and I'm like, I baby these songs too much. It shouldn't take me a couple months just to finish one song and put it out. I'm like, at this rate, I'll be 70 years old and have like 20 songs out. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to get better at producing. I want to get more stuff out, and I want to challenge myself to commit to it. So I'm like, no matter for the next year, I was on a radio station, and that's whenever I decided. I'm like, if I say this on the radio, then like someone's gonna hear it. I'm gonna have to
Right,
hold myself
exactly.
accountable.
I have to hold myself accountable, yeah.
So
It's out
I
there in
said
the
it,
universe.
and I'm like, I'll give myself a month to write and record a song, and then put it out. And what was fun about it is a lot of people, when they do albums, they'll write like, I don't know, like 20, 30 songs, then they'll pick like the best like 9 to 12.
Sure.
For me, what you see or what you hear is what you get. Like at my core, when I'm pressed for time and like when I gotta make quick decisions, like that's what my music sounds like. When I don't overthink it, and like when I don't have the liberty to pick my best, like you're kind of hearing like my unfiltered like songwriting, I
Sure.
suppose. So like there's a lot of stuff like going back that I'd probably change, or like there's lyrics that I would change or elements I would change. But when you get caught up in that, that's why you don't put songs out, because you keep making
It becomes
changes.
too
I'm like,
precious, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I realize now that there's always going to be a better idea, and there's always going to be another idea. And if there's not, then maybe I'm not cut out for it the way that I thought it was. But I think we all underestimate our creativity. You know what I
Yes.
mean, like there's always going to be something.
Because from
Yeah.
the outsider's point of view, I don't know if you agree with this, Phil. I mean, it sounded like you had babied this for 10 years. Everything
thank you.
flows together. It feels like there was no other way this album could have sounded. This is exactly how it should have came out, and you really nailed it.
Thank you. And it's kind of like a concept album, because it has like the story behind it, like a song a month. And when it came to picking the track list, I'm like, I still wanted to tell a story. And I actually don't know if I've ever mentioned this anywhere other than my head. But the reason I have the order of the songs the way they are is it kind of represents who Kahone is to me. Like Kahone in a ways, it's myself, but it's kind of like a characterized version of myself, where like the goofiness, and like we have the song like Kung Fu Kahone, where like it's about like Kung Fu Cahone's in town, like he's kind of like a badass fighter, like who like gets in a fight in like a cafe or whatever, like in a diner, you know what I mean? It's really upbeat and like not serious and like super confident. And then as the album goes on, it kind of pulls back a layer and then kind of shows my self-doubts to where we get to Mommy's Little Rock Star, where it's a lot more honest. And like it's the idea where like in my head, like I want to be this person, but like I'm insecure, and like maybe I'm not who I thought I was, and like maybe like, and so as the album goes on, that's kind of the story. The concept is that it kind of peels away that confidence, and then by the end of it, you're left with like who I think I am. You know?
Sure, like an inner child who's still
Yeah.
wanting to just, be a superpowers, like just
Yeah.
the way that a little boy thinks about themselves,
Exactly.
ripping off Slash
Yeah.
solos and stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably a perfect time to now have you. You said you might play that song,
Oh, heck
"Mommy's
yeah.
Little Rock Star." So you just set it up beautifully. So I'm just
Thank
going to
you.
take us
Yeah.
off screen, give you full screen, and you're going to do it on the piano. Which this is
Yeah.
your next favorite band first. I've never had
Heck yeah.
an actual piano performed on the show. So take it away, Kahone
Heck yeah.
Concept.
This is a Steinway that I got off Facebook Marketplace. I was looking for like years for an upright, because I wanted an upright, and I got it for $100, which is for a Steinway is a steal. It's from like the 1800s, and it's in pretty good shape. It probably needs tuned, but turns out it was like 2 streets up for me. It was like meant to be. So I love this thing. Second thing is, I met Philip through Instagram from Music Fest, and I asked, I'm like, thought I was being clever. I'm like, is there any song you want to hear? Because more than likely, I thought he was going to say like Maybe or Trashy State of Mind. Because if anyone knows my music, like that's probably the two songs that they probably know. And he picked Mommy's Little Rockstar. I'm like, crap, that's the one song that's not in the set. So I'm like, it's kind of hard to play. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm like, I want to play it for Phil. So Phil, thank you for having me. This one's for you. Hopefully it goes well. I'm going to take out my earphones because it has noise cancellation, so it's like kind of weird to play. Anyways, I think the mic's coming through the computer, so if you can't hear it, I apologize. Try and tap my shoulder or something if you can. Well, there's that, I suppose.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
that's awesome. Just stunning.
Oh, thanks, man.
What a cool thing to have it on the piano.
Yeah, I had to learn it today.
Whatever it takes to be famous.
Yeah, I suppose we'll see. I like to be known by my mom and just able to make music. So
Well, that's like the funny part about I think now your audio is coming through.
oh, 1 second.
Yeah. Just because it's creating a little bit of an echo. I think now it's good.
How's this?
Perfect. Yes.
Yep.
All right, perfect.
So what's awesome about it is just simply wanting to be famous also swings it back to a little kid. Kind of like, oh, I want to be like that. But that's not truly what I mean, I'm sure you like it's more about you being appreciated as an artist and wanting to put on a good show for the people who are in front of you. Like, so you've matured in what that dream is today, but keeping the lyrics, there's a little bit more of an immature in a good way. Like that it's what that little boy would have thought.
Yeah.
I think is such the beauty of that.
Thank you so much for saying that and listening to it, and because that's when I made this song, I'm like, I really don't want to. What I was nervous about is like sometimes growing up, like people make a song and then it's like, she was a girl who didn't have friends and nobody knew who she was. Then she took off her glasses and she was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like this, I was really worried I was gonna make a song that like I was trying to like sound like that. It's like, I think you're singing about yourself. You know what I mean? So I was really nervous it would come off in a weird way. But yeah, you're right. Like that's kind of what it is. Because ultimately, what I say is, I don't really care if this thing takes off or not. I mean, I would like for this to be my day job, but at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I love it. And the amount of songs that I can make between now and however long I live, let's say I live till I'm like 80, that's a lot of music that I'm gonna be able to make. And that's what's exciting and like so cool to think about. And like, that's kind of what drives me to keep going. So whether or not anyone hears it, that's just kind of like a bonus, you know? But I think deep down, there's no matter how much people say they don't care what other people think, there's always going to be an extent to that people do.
Absolutely.
You know, and like, even though it's probably not the healthiest, a lot of times we kind of compare ourselves to others or compare ourselves to where we think we should be. And it's easy to go down that rabbit hole and get in your head. And that's kind of what the song's about, is just kind of accepting, you know, what, oh, sorry. What's up?
I was just gonna get her neck's bleeding.
Just put some ointment on. I'll be up. Sorry, my baby has a rash on her neck.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh.
Take care of her.
It's the real life sneaks right in right there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I probably should get going here soon, just because I
Understood.
gotta do some dad stuff.
Yep.
Still sounds so weird to say.
Yeah.
People are be like, that guy on stage with hot dogs, he's in charge of somebody now.
How did they
Well,
let him go home with that?
What's
kid?
funny, and this is actually right around the time, and this will be quick, but you talked about something about like with the Kahone thing. I heard you talk about this, where it was like it only meant something because you gave it purpose or value or a meaning. And that same point, it had me thinking back to when I was a dad for the first time, and actually, I was reading a book to my son. He was probably in this phase, like somewhere between 6 and 12 months, where it was a book of colors. And I was like, you know, green. And then one day it comes out of his mouth and he goes, green. And I went, holy shit, you're going to just say whatever I told you what it would be. Yeah. And I was like, that's so much responsibility. Because what if I just decided to mess with him and say, that's blue and that's orange and red, and you're going to go through the world arguing with everyone else on what you think is the truth? And it's all it's all my fault. Like, and so then I was like, holy man, I just have all this burden of setting your social and you know, moral compass, let alone labels of things. And I was just like, wow. But then it also just blew my whole mind when I was just like, well, wait a minute. Color is a perspective. What if he's actually literally seeing green because of color blindness, and I tell him it's blue, but now he says blue, but now both people that are saying that's the color blue, but seeing it a completely different way. I remember having that whole conversation with myself as a new dad, and it all came out of the conversation you were having about this element of labeling and symbols and such just getting a meaning because you assigned it to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tale as old as time. Like is my red, your red. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I'm new to the dad world. I have a lot to learn. But
You're never done learning.
Yeah, that's true for anything, I suppose.
Well, definitely being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
My approach is going to be along with teaching them that moral compass and teaching like what red and green is. I think it's important to understand that the ramification, if you were to mislead them and tell them something that's green blue, not only is that teaching them something incorrect, but the emotional ramification of they go around telling people blue, and because someone they trusted told them that, they're going to believe it. And then, it's a lot to navigate.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I think as a dad, my number one goal is to do everything with love and best intention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're all just still children. We're just guarded inside. And I want to do my best to give my daughter Benny and however many more kids I have, and I try to do it with everyone I meet, like that grace and realize how delicate that emotion is, and treat them with the emotional intelligence that I wish I was. And not that I'm like qualified to have that emotional intelligence, because I have a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody knows what it feels like to be loved, and knows that even if you fall short, that love is still felt. I guess
Yeah,
And
if the effort is there and the intention was there, that'll speak louder than any of the mistakes made.
Yeah, there's John Bellion just put out a new album, and one of his lines is so good. My wife heard me listen to it. She's like, "That's a good line." It was something like, "A present father is way more important than a perfect father."
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, wow, that's pretty good, John Bellion.
Yeah, there you go.
You make the big
And
bucks.
we'll let you go be that.
Yeah, we'll let you
father
be
right
present.
now.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for performing that beautiful song. And I can't wait to see you perform live again soon.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you for making it out to our set. Like, I'm so glad that this happened. We were able to reconnect.
Absolutely.
It was definitely our pleasure.
Yeah, same. And definitely be seeing you down the line. People, check out Kahone Concept. We're going to tag a different couple of things. Actually, while you head out, we'll bring up your site to kind of promote some things. There we got to push merch. Anything coming up in the fall, though, for shows or anything like that?
In Pittsburgh, I don't think it's announced yet, but
Okay.
I can put it on here. Light Up Night, I'm pretty sure we're playing that. It's just like when we switch over for Christmas downtown, it's like a big thing.
Awesome.
But we have some stuff planned in the future. Nothing definitive, but I got a lot of songs and demos made on my phone and voice memos. As soon as I finish that studio, I'm gonna start cranking them out again.
Nice.
So this next year, there's gonna be a lot of new stuff, and I'm really excited about it.
Love it. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Ben.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Gina.
Oh my God, I love every minute of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And-
So yeah,
and
let's bring up the
genuine
site while you.
human.
Oh
my
stupid.
God.
So let's
Genuine
bring up the
human.
site so that we can kind of share this here. It's Kahone Concept. He is a programmer, so he programmed this site himself. That's the vinyl there that Gina brought up
Yes.
earlier. Phenomenal outfit right there. These are links to the different videos and songs. And then the bio that we talked about, that's hilarious.
Yep.
And then the store. Let's click on the store. So lots of great merch in here. Hoodies,
They've got a
t-shirts.
crew neck. Keep going down. That one. It's new. Try it. Oh, I love that.
Love it.
So great.
This one here.
Yeah, look at that.
And the phone
It's
rings.
new.
We didn't get into
Try
the
it.
phone calls, but
I know.
there's so much more to talk about. There's got to be a Kahone Concept Part 2 episode. This is the one I would get, is the one with the hot dog house.
That one's pretty cool too.
Yeah. But I'm like you. I picked up the vinyl that day, and then he actually signed it for me, which is kind of funny.
You stayed for the Slingshot Dakota
Yes.
show after. He shook hands. He talked to people. He kissed babies, and he was so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
He was so thrilled about who came out, and he gave people his attention. And it was so real. It was so nice to see someone be real.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And that's like the other part, again, for those of you who may not know Music Fest. It's a very accessible festival in that the artist who you just saw perform will come most likely right out to the merch table and want to meet people and say hi. And that's sort of the other beautiful part of it. Is it's just like everyone is there to enjoy the vibe.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It's just such a cool thing. So, Gina, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much for festing with me all the time. And
it's not a fest without you, Phil. Truly. Truly.
And hopefully we can do this more. I'll let you know other bands that are coming up, and you can join again in the future
I would love that. Thank
for
you,
more
Phil.
interviews. But we're going to close. So we have music that we always play after the credits. One more song by Kahone Concept. It's the song called Who Cares If I Sing? And that'll come up after the credits. But in the meantime...
Right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Ben Kahone of Kahone Concept for joining tonight, for sharing all these amazing stories, also performing on a piano, first time ever on Next Fave Band. And just incredible to carve that much time out to talk with us, share his story, inspirations, hot dog stuff, all sorts of great things. And I do kind of wish there was a little bit of a side recording of him just making stuff up about the different band members, but oh well. Gina, you were at this. This is from my wedding, and wanted to thank you for coming on the show one more time. As always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band. If you tuned in tonight because you already knew Kahone Concept, thank you so much. We would hope that you like what you heard and what you saw, that you would like to subscribe to our show, either on YouTube or on a podcast, or you like and follow us on Instagram. There's lots of great content out there across the different platforms. And we would love to bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. Or your next favorite band might already be out there. NextFaveBand.com and the YouTube channel at NextFaveBand both have all of our prior interviews. So you can kind of go in there and just pick and choose. If we can kind of help you find one, maybe you just give us a tip about different kind of genres you like, and we can kind of steer you in a direction of this one or that one. Or you could just pick one at random. We hope that you enjoy what we kind of have to offer out there. Or if you have a recommendation for who our next favorite band should be, just drop us a note, and we would love to kind of explore that. I hope to see you at a live show soon. And don't forget, one more track here from Kahone Concept. Here's the song, Who Cares If I Sing, by Kahone Concept.
It's not that I'm lonely, it's more that I'm half a thought away from being so grossly invested in my most oppressive feng shui. And yeah, I can say things, but give it tomorrow and I'll be right back to the part where I started and blame everybody but me.